you say now is going out. But no one's listening. Okay. We might get viewers this way.
Yeah, probably weirdos. I think I'm like in middle school or something. This is not one of those shows.
Okay. So you could, I don't know, you could arrange this in a way that it like sees us, like whatever you want to do with the tripod. I leave it to your judgment.
Does this go higher though?
These expand.
Oh, gotcha.
That's
Okay.
how, yeah. And these things like tighten up here. Yeah. There's a bathroom if you want to.
Cool. Do you want it from the side, or is this one supposed to be like facing us?
The only thing is if we want it to be able to see the screen, because if we have guests, so I think from the side
Okay.
works. And let me give it some power. I got this great advice from somebody that is helping me just right in this moment.
Yeah.
When you have all these decisions to make, it's do what you know. So it's just like, just keep doing tasks that you know you need to do. And then when you get to the optional tasks, you'll eliminate all the stuff that has to be done. And while you're doing these needed tasks, you know.
That's what I do every day. Big life decision, I'm gonna wash the dishes.
That's good. I have trouble with that. Alright, and just for the heck of it, this is a little bonus extra we're doing right here. This is an HD video camera.
Cool. Is this a go at like 3?
Yeah. Although we're already live on YouTube.
Would it say if we had viewers?
What?
Would it say if we had viewers?
Yeah. It would say down there in that little corner, the little eye. And actually, I should go on YouTube right now. And sometimes it doesn't work on the first try, so. And we gotta get some Wi-Fi.
Silent my phone. I'm getting hit with copyright infringement.
I should totally teach you how to do this stuff so you can be a producer. Here, I'll show you. Come and see. So, we're going to YouTube. If this darn internet will work. channel, and so you're on YouTube, so go ahead and click on that face up there. And then click on Creator Studio. That's the YouTube sort of
Okay.
creation. So now click on live streaming. And it says we're live and StreamYard is good, and that means we are live. I'm just gonna come in here in a sec. Oh, but whenever a pop-up comes up on my screen,
Mhm. Oh,
it
freezes.
blackens the video, and I don't know how to turn off those. How do I turn off all notifications?
Yeah, I think you can.
You are there.
Oh, that's weird.
Great. Let's see if I can quickly turn off. Open settings, tap notifications, tap the app, slide the allow. I'll do them all at once. Why does it keep? I guess we'll just have to deal with it. All right.
So it has a lag. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, the YouTube does. The Zoom does not.
Oh.
Because YouTube, they do that for a reason. They do that like if you're.
So you can edit it quickly if you're doing something illegal.
I think for a variety of
Or
control
shut you down.
reasons. Yeah, you got it. So this is totally an optional step because this takes actual editing, but this would be a high quality video recording. The first movie with Tim. The first episode. Okay, so you should be planning your intro.
Oh God.
And we'll have the camera, we'll have it dark. And so it'll just be your voice.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And then you could say.
Let's find the band program right here and we can do something real
Let's find some music. There is a YouTube. There's music we can use from YouTube.
Okay, we should find that and use it.
But we still need someone to say welcome to the Mindful Activist.
Episode 3.
Your NPR voice is much better than mine though.
No way. Alright, I suppose I could do it. Down here. Just
It sounds very Elton John.
Alright, you just play a few of those. Decide which one you like.
Okay. Definitely not that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's something Joe would play.
You have the music. I wonder if the music will record.
Deck the halls down.
We'll record during our call.
That's totally, there you go. That's so unfair. Not beginning of it. you shouldn't put me in charge of this. I could do this for hours.
I'm gonna play with the location of this.
Okay. Almost sounds like the podcast I was thinking about earlier.
Oh, we could go crazy here. Unnecessary complexity here.
I used to show you the video that me and the other intern made my first summer out here.
Yeah.
I mean, she did all the video like editing and stuff, so it was mostly hers. I was just there for creative brainstorming. About patriotic. Fuck, this is recording. Tempting fate. That's totally like the podcast I listen to. Welcome to Things You Missed in History Class. Extinction level event. Oh my gosh, so many cameras.
Yeah, but they're not all live, so.
Okay.
That one's just recording.
Does these still be live?
That's still live up there.
I'm not trying to get music.
2:55. It's alright, you'll just pick one. So now we're gonna start the. And manage participants. How do you share invite? So there's the URL. $2:56. We're not even late yet. We actually could get this.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I need to edit this or delete it. You get to see the awesome program that I do all my coding in.
Oh yeah.
It's called Sublime Text. This is the coding behind the
Cool.
project.
See, it blows my mind people know how to do that.
I can teach you.
Yeah.
It's fun. So that's where we're going. And I got Mindful Actress episode 3. We'll just tweet that out.
We didn't actually pick out what we're gonna talk about yet, have we?
Remember, that's how we're starting the episode.
I have to think of my activist question. I don't know.
Matt and Kim hosting.
Isn't that a band?
Is it?
I think it is.
And so we'll delete this one. Is that the wrong link? And we will go to Facebook and we'll tell people that have at least liked the Mindful Activist page. We'll tweet it, we'll put it out on there. $2:58, we are not late yet. I'm very proud of this. And record. Now this is recording.
We just keep it like this. I'll just hold up.
That's much better for the viewing audience than me. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, Facebook. They're coming for you. Come on, let me write something. My computer's upset because I'm recording. Oh, there, I got that. Three o'clock. You know what that means? It's time for the intro. So, I should make sure the audio should be, it's recording off the audio on the computer, so that should be fine.
Does that one record audio too? For you?
And yeah, that one's also sending audio. So now we gotta play our theme music.
I didn't find a good one.
Which one was like the craziest hip hop? Something that's garage music.
Garage music?
Rock Happy Into the Land of Rhinoplasty. Let's try that.
What is rhinoplasty anyway?
Isn't that nose surgery?
Is that what it is? Okay,
It was
that makes
5
sense.
seconds. That was all that was. Okay, that's no good. How about this one? No.
Ted NPR.
I am Daisy Dukes. What about that? All right, we are trying to pick out the intro song for this episode. R&B song, Fork and Spoon. And then we'll really skillfully turn down the music. All right, welcome to another episode of The Mindful Activist. This is your host, Bam, Matt Reddy, and I'm the host of this podcast, and I am the founder of the Global Consensus Project, and the developer of the Hive1.net software platform, and I'm also an elected politician, a hospital commissioner in Jefferson County, Washington. I'm here today with an amazing guest, Kimberly McClurg. Is that your last name?
Yes.
McClurg. Never said that out loud before. All right, so we have a really well-planned episode. You're gonna have to scoot over a little bit closer so we can get very well planned. We have lots of ideas of what we're gonna talk about today. But really, mainly, this is yet another test episode, because as you can see, we are testing all sorts of things. We're testing the software we're using that's enabling other people to join the show. We're using the Zoom software, and we are recording. That's good. And using this Zoom video conferencing software, up to 50 people could jump in with live video and be talking to us.
So where does it pop up if people do?
We'll hear a little ding, and so we'll know something's up, and then we'll see someone appear in the list.
Cool.
And then we will see them if they're sharing video, and hear them if they're unmuted. And they will see us, and they can chat. And so, pretty much for every episode of The Mindful Activist, as long as it's appropriate for that episode, it's not going to be an in-depth one-on-one interview. If it's going to be an open discussion, we're going to try to keep it open so people can join in and facilitate a discussion. And then if the audience gets big enough, then we'll start inviting people to use the Hive1 software to also interact with the hosts of the show. Because using that software, we could have thousands of people sending in questions and interacting with us. But obviously we're not there yet. We have nobody watching at the moment.
Missing out, people.
Yeah, this is quality entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, since there's no one there, it's just up to you and me.
All right.
What we talk about today. I normally start with an introduction. How would you like to introduce yourself to the universe of people out there that, although they're not watching right now, someday
Might watch later.
lots and lots of people will watch these archives, the early days of the Mindful Activist, and they're going to be like, who the heck is this middle school girl? So, how would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, I'm 26, first of all. Let's see.
You can just talk. I'm going to adjust this.
I'm not really in the political sphere much. I work for a private consultant company doing environmental things.
You have a degree in some sort of...
Yes, I got my degree in biology with marine emphasis 3 years ago.
Is that different than marine biology?
No, I just was being technical.
It's biology with a marine emphasis is the correct way to say it?
Yes, that's
Okay.
what it technically was. I think they have their own separate marine bio degree now.
Okay.
But That's what it was when I was there.
And you're a working marine biologist,
Yes, I am.
which is kind of impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, that was my dream since middle school when I was a real middle schooler.
So what's it like to play with dolphins every day? All day?
I wish I could tell you, but I don't know that. But
So you don't play with dolphins.
no,
Orcas?
no. Captivity is pretty cruel, so anyone no one should really play with them.
Yeah.
Should
All right.
just
So
go do their own thing.
so what do you do as a marine biologist?
At my job, I help with biological reports and surveys to assess impacts to the nearshore environment.
Okay. So like construction, if there's
Yes.
any sort of work being done along the shoreline.
Yes, any kind of construction along the shoreline.
And you told
In
me
the
before
water.
you often are just watching and observing whether or not there's marine mammals.
For some projects,
Yeah.
the recent one I did down by Port Orchard was for marine mammal monitoring,
Mhm.
but no
Cool.
penguins.
No penguins
No.
or seen. No dolphins.
No.
No orcas.
No, just
Hmm.
some seals, and that was about it.
All right. Well, what should we talk about now?
No. I don't need viewers yet, do we?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we could go. Should we go to the one question of this show? Should we do that? Are you ready for that one?
Okay.
So,
Wing it.
all right. Do you consider yourself an activist? You don't like chain yourself
The
to
person who chains themselves to construction equipment and that kind of thing. But since I got that quick rundown of the different activists last time I was here, I guess I'd be somewhere in between was it communicator or educator?
Or was that the same one?
Or was it the same
Communicator,
thing?
educator.
Whatever, it's something in
Yeah.
that
We need Amy
realm.
here to explain.
Yeah. And nurture, I think, was the other one. I guess I'm somewhere in between there.
So communication, education, nurturing, not chaining yourself to.
Yes, I
things.
guess mine is a much more passive form of activism.
Yeah. Have you
Yes.
ever gone to a protest?
I just I happened to be around when some were going on. I kind of would walk by and observe, I guess, but I didn't actually actively join any.
So never held a sign, walked in a march.
No.
No.
I don't think I have. No.
It's fun. It's an experience. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I was from pretty small towns for a while, so nothing like that really happened much.
Mm. And you obviously haven't been in Port Townsend long enough to have seen some of the activism that's
No.
gone on here.
No, just like 2.5 years now, so
Yeah. So you missed
I missed the Occupy movement.
Occupy Port Townsend. There was some fun stuff happened during that.
Yeah. But you were a part of it,
Yes, I
so
was.
I was told
Mm-hmm.
by you.
Many times. Do you know I was part of Occupy Port Townsend? Well, today's episode, I promised Kim it wouldn't like go real heavy and deep into politics or into, heavy topics. So that means, in addition to just sort of testing the software, we're sort of going to be very flexible about what we do and what we talk about. So we could brainstorm. We could use the first part of the episode to brainstorm different topics we could go into, and it doesn't have to be heavy or political or activist oriented.
Okay.
It has to do with meditation.
Meditation.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
It can be it can be anything. So, what do you think? What
like previous ideas back here?
This book is filled with
Doodles.
this is my Global Consensus Project notebook. So it has many ideas for how this.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been thinking about this for a long time. And I do, if we opened up the Hive software, I have a show idea list, a list of ideas of different topics that I could do a whole show about.
Yeah.
And so we could look at that list and
Sure.
we could scan down it. And so since we're gonna use this computer, it'll keep videotaping it. That's fine. They'll just see us looking at the computer screen, and that So we are going to the Hive1.net software, and we're going to go into the Mindful Activist. I don't even have the words for it. The Hive part, the Hive for the Mindful Activist, I guess is the way to say it. I guess I could screen share this. That might be,
Can you do it while you're on Zoom?
yeah.
Cool.
That's one of the. Let's do it. That's a good idea. Share screen. It didn't record very well though when I did it before.
Oh.
But
Well, we could just like jot some down real quick, I guess, that we see on there. And then
well, I think once it recorded well, once it recorded like garbage. So this is the center stage.
So is that stuff you posted before, or does that
Yeah.
just kind of come up
No,
on?
I posted
Okay.
all this. This
I
is,
approve the George Carlin video. Good
yeah.
choice.
George Carlin
I thought
is
George Carlin.
amazing. Before, way ahead of his time. I mean, that would be a comic I would love to have on this show.
Oh, I know. Could you imagine? That would be awesome.
I wonder what he's talking about in this clip. I wonder if the audio will come through the recording or the screencast. I think we're overtaxing my computer here.
I don't believe anything the government tells me. Nothing. Zero. And I gotta tell you folks, I don't
Wow, we got it.
get all choked up about yellow ribbons and American flag.
That's okay. We don't blow up your computer.
Consider them.
Yeah, at some point I'm gonna need to upgrade this computer so I have like a beefy machine that can do everything.
Do you have a
I want.
favorite quote from like George Carlin?
Well, I have a clip that where he talks about there's a reason that the U.S. government and the powers that be will never really invest in our education system because they want everyone to be stupid and they don't want you to be in power. And he's
Makes sense.
really,
Only the rich people like can afford to go to private schools.
yeah. But man, he was a amazing comedian activist. Do you have a favorite Carlin quote?
Yeah, someone got me one of those day-by-day calendars, rip-off calendars of like quotes from him, and one I really liked was I'm pretty sure it was him. It was inside every cynic is a disappointed idealist.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
like
really
that makes a lot of sense.
inside every cynic is a disappointed idealist. No, actually, I feel that's true of when I ask someone, "Are you an activist?" and people say no, especially if they say no, not at all, and they have any sort of like energy behind their no.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually because the idealistic activist part of themselves has been so crushed and disappointed with their inability to affect the world and how horrible the world is that they keep that part of themselves just stifled down.
Yeah, instead of just dealing with the disappointment every day.
Well, it's like how do you? I mean, it's psychologically necessary.
We
if
almost
you're-
have to numb it, otherwise you go nuts.
Yeah, unless you can figure out a way to actually take action that makes you feel like you're accomplishing something,
Mm-hmm.
which is hard. 'Cause there's really powerful and clever forces at work to prevent change,
Yeah.
but I think we're more clever than them. Together, I think collectively,
Yeah.
I think the masses just have to like figure it out. So this is the section where I have what ideas for other upcoming episodes of Mindful Activist.
Okay.
So there's the Mindful Activist interview, which is just sort of is going to be like whatever my standard questions are. And then egalitarian facilitation is a topic I might talk about. And then miscellaneous other questions.
Lots of mindful things.
Well, yeah, okay, there are a few mindful things.
I don't see memes listed on here.
Yeah. Did they get memes? Origin of the universe. Hive game night. That could be quantum mechanics, glitch in the Matrix stories.
Ooh, I know. I wish when people tune in and talk about that. That'd be cool to hear some people's stuff.
Ending oppression, power, egalitarianism. Best movie of all time per genre.
Oh yeah.
But you're right. We do need to add memes. How do you spell meme? Is it M-I-M?
M-E-M.
M-E-M.
Yeah.
Memes. Just gonna put that as an answer.
My sister was calling them memes for a long time. I said, "You mean memes?"
Memes?
Yeah. Memes.
So that
Is that not
should-
charging?
I think it's no, I think it's
Is it this one?
charging. It's just eating. Let's see what happens if I do this. I think you're right. I think it's not charging.
Yeah.
Does this have power?
Yep.
Yeah, that has power. Yeah, okay, now it's charging. All right. Well, I'm gonna go. Unless do you want to dive into one of these topics?
What are the other ones? Again?
A lot of stuff on mindfulness, dance, tactics, communication. We could talk about power. Power's a pretty juicy one. And these are just my ideas. Like, if
Mhm.
you want to like throw an idea out there of a topic you'd like to go into,
Okay.
ending oppression. They're all pretty heavy. I tend to brainstorm pretty heavy topics.
So does that mean like two people have like?
That means there's 2 children underneath it, so that means I put these. I guess I add these 2 thoughts on power, and I just sort of put them in there. It's not important who wins a particular battle; it matters who wins the war. The most powerful person in the room is often the most quiet, and true power doesn't need an announcement.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. You want to take a tangent into power struggles and power?
Sure. In what context, I guess?
So, how are you when you are in a... Oh, I didn't know I could do this. I can make it bigger. That's probably more interesting. And let's go back to the... Screen sharing is paused. How do I just stop share? Stop share, just go back to video. Okay. So how do you react during power struggles? Like if someone tries to exercise power to make, push you around in some way to get you to do something, raising their voice, or even like pounding their fist on a table or something.
Like, is it just kind of an everyday scenario, I guess? Like,
Well, I mean, it's
angry person at the store who thinks I cut him off in line or something like that.
Well, sure. We can start with that. Say it's a
Okay.
random person that just starts yelling at you.
Well, they were just probably yelling at me and I didn't really know them. I would probably just kind of ignore it and walk away.
Yeah. And does it impact you? Like, does it cause an emotional reaction inside you?
I think it might initially. I'd probably just be kind of shocked and then maybe slightly angry depending on what the situation was. If I felt like it just came from out of nowhere and it was unprovoked, I would probably just kind of shrug it off and be like, whatever. But
Yeah. So what if it's in a situation where you actually know this person and what they're trying to use power to manipulate you over is actually a decision has to be made about it?
I would try to resolve it, you know, talk it through, but if it's with somebody who is not interested in having a reasonable discussion about it and they just basically want to dump all of this anger on me, I just kind of tend to walk away and say, you know, let's do this another time when tensions aren't so high. But yeah, I'm not really big on getting into yelling matches with people and making a big scene, because I feel like that's what a lot of people just want half the time. They're not interested in actually talking it out in a reasonable manner.
And so, so how do those situations tend to resolve if it's a person that's willing to use, you know, what I would call violent language, you know,
Mhm.
just violent communication, which is just raising your voice or body language or looking down at you or whatever.
Yeah.
So you would let them cool off and then try again
Yes.
later to talk about it. And in your experience, does that work, that you end up being heard and it ends up being like an equally shared decision, or do they still end up trying to bully?
I think for the most part, once people have a chance to cool down, you can get much more out of it. And I think you both leave feeling better about it instead of being mad and pissed off about the situation. And
Maybe you should demonstrate. Maybe I should like raise my voice at you and you should show how you would use your Kim communication skills.
I don't think just walking out of the room really counts as like.
Well, see I don't know about that tactic, because in my experience, if a person wants something, their opinion is strong enough that they'll raise their voice at you.
Mhm.
Walking out of the room. I mean, okay, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
If someone, because I've had like a boss say, you know, I've been doing this for 20 years. I know the answer.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're gonna do it this way, and I'm like, that's fine. You're the boss. And I just walk out. I've told them they're wrong.
Yeah.
And and then they do cool down. They come back if they come back.
Yeah.
And they usually I'm working for reasonable people, and they come back. But some bosses don't. Some.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
That's hard.
And sometimes you only have 15 minutes. You only have this window of time to talk to someone.
Yeah.
And this is it. And they are choosing to use violent communication in this moment. It's like you can't extend it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, I guess you just kind of have to pick your battles, and if it's something that I guess if you don't have much control over it, like it is a boss and they're set on doing something this way, and you're trying to tell them, like, I think it'd be better if you did it this way, but, you know, like, if in the end it's their butt on the line and not yours, and they want to go ahead and, you know,
Yeah.
most people dig
But
their own grave, right?
But I'm just curious, like, if you had to continue engaging with someone, like, what would you use? What would your tactic be if you couldn't leave the room? It's like you had to resolve it. And have you not been in that situation very often?
Not very often, no. But I guess, I don't know, if I had to, I just try to keep my cool and appeal to their logic side as much as possible, even though that's usually rarely where people go when they get upset. I don't know, it's really hard. Half of my energy just goes into trying to keep myself calm, so I don't, you know, escalate and start yelling, because that doesn't turn out well for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I really haven't had to deal with it too much. I guess I don't hang around a lot of angry
You should
people.
You should run for office. You should become a politician, because then you get to be around.
Because I'm not, like, afraid of conflicts. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too lazy to put up much of a fight, because a lot of in the end, it doesn't really matter, you know? If someone wants to yell at me over a parking spot or something like that, you know, I don't know. A lot of everyday conflicts just don't stick around long enough to, like, make me upset. Yeah. I don't know. I can think of any,
Okay.
like, everyday situations.
mean, yeah, I could if I ever edit these. I just release them.
What? No.
I just put them online. Editing takes a lot of work.
I'll do it then. Teach me how to do it.
Okay.
I'll edit this for you.
You're gonna like edit yourself.
I'll edit my
completely.
sentence down to 1 or 2 coherent sentences.
Okay. You are welcome to edit this episode. All right, so we've talked a little bit about power. What else should we go into? What would be a good topic for us to riff on for the world? Should we talk about memes? Should we talk about?
Sure, we can talk about memes.
We could let's talk about memes. I mean, I know you're sort of like an expert in memes.
I don't know about expert.
You seem to use memes as a way to communicate.
They're almost like the modern, like, cave paintings, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of like leaving your mark, but it's online, which isn't, you know, as permanent as a cave, but...
It might be more permanent. I mean, everything that we record online, it might
That's
end
true.
up going to other planets and spreading out eventually, you know? In like 20 years, everything that's been put online up until now is going to fit like on a flash drive, you know?
That's so
and you're going to be
trippy.
able to just like send that to Mars when we colonize Mars and, you know.
They're gonna be like, what is this people's obsession with these 4-legged furry critters?
The cat obsession.
Yeah.
We worshipped cats. Maybe that's what it was with the Egyptians. They just had, you know,
Yeah.
it was just memes. You know, it was just
That's-
cat memes. They were just like, oh, this would be so funny, and they carved it.
Yeah, all those walls in the temples, it's like the comment section, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's right. It was just comments. We've just increased the speed at which we can, you know, create our memes and
Yeah.
get them out there. And
Yeah, maybe people wouldn't be such assholes about it if they had to chisel out each comment.
Yeah.
They'd have to put a lot more thought into it.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite meme, like one that just like seems to sum it all up for you?
Oh, I don't know. It seems to switch once in a while depending on the situation, how my day's going. No, I can't pick a favorite one off the top of my head.
I mean, we could like Google memes and we could like, you know, pull up ones that we want to.
Sure.
All right, we're back to the share screen.
What are you making all yours lately? Or like, do you have a meme generator on your
Oh
phone?
yeah,
That's what I thought.
yeah.
I do love the Star Trek guy. That's Patrick Stewart.
The Patrick Stewart,
What's his character name though?
Picard.
Picard. Yeah, I do like the Picard ones. I have a lot of that in daily life. Like, why the what? Can I cuss on here? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's too late.
Well,
I think I already have.
Yeah, you already did, and you can. It's just if it's going to go out over the local TV station, then I would actually have to edit out
Okay.
all
I'll
of
try
Kim's
not.
swearing. It's just like already you've hit I think you've done the first 2
I think
cuss
there's only
words
been
of the mindful
2 or
activist.
3. Hey, you knew the risk when you invited me on.
This is true.
Maybe that's probably a good thing where you're not peppering or something while we're doing a podcast because there's way too much.
There's a lot of potential swearing.
Yeah.
When we're playing volleyball. So that's the other way Kim and I know each other is Kim is an amazing volleyball player, and she lets other people play with her sometimes.
Please. Matt lets people play with him because he's the amazing one.
No, you're the amazing one.
You're right. I do give you good setups for hits, so I mean.
Mm-hmm. And you're quite a defensive star. All right, so we are on Google Images, and we're going to do a meme search. So first we do what's the greatest meme of all time? For me, it's it would be a Matrix meme.
The Matrix memes. The one with Morpheus, that one.
I really like that one. I've sent that one out twice.
Yeah.
What if I told you this side with the USB symbol will always be the top side? It really is butter. There's one.
I do love some of the memes that are like combined, you know, with other ones. Those are great.
I also like this one. I did 3 movies about the Matrix, and you still don't get it. Do you think we're living in a Matrix?
Ooh, that is an interesting concept. I don't know. I mean, what if it was though? What if like everything was a simulation? What if you knew it was? Would you change anything about your life then?
If I knew that it was, it depends how I know. Because if you know it's a simulation, that means somehow something has told you that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if I got like a phone call and a guy was like, "Hey, you're living in a simulation. I can prove it to you. Watch. I'm gonna make your computer disappear," and they made it disappear, I'd be like, "I'm living in a simulation. Could you do me some other favors?" And I would like, I'd be like, "Is there some other way you could hack reality? Like, could you let me fly? I'd like to be able to fly." Or
What if that's all the information you got though, and he showed you proof you were in a simulation?
well, see, I'm a skeptic. So if like yesterday that had happened, a guy called me and my laptop had disappeared because he had told me we're living in a simulation, and he made it disappear and reappeared, I would have now a memory of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be like, this is what my memory is telling me happened. But I don't know if my memory is accurate. I don't know if it absolutely did happen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody slipped something into my drink and I hallucinated that. And I do have a couple stories, that I could tell you that are kind of weird like that. But, it's like Joan of Arc. She was walking in a garden and she had a vision of, I think it was like 2 saints or something, and they spoke to her and they told her,
Mm-hmm. It was like St. Catherine and who's the other one?
I'm just amazed you got St. Catherine. Like, this is your
It was Catholic.
your Catholic
I'm
education
down.
coming through.
I must pick some of it up. Catherine and I can't remember the other saint though.
Oh, we got like the source of all knowledge right here.
Oh yeah, we can Google it.
So, Joan, on this incredibly overtaxed computer.
Okay, but anyway, sorry. Yeah, I want to hear about the Joan of Arc thought though.
Well, it's just that if I was walking in a garden and 2 saints appeared and I saw them and they like did magical stuff and they told me a whole bunch of stuff that I was supposed to do with my life and then they disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
I'd come here and be like, I had this really trippy vision. But I wouldn't be like, a magical being appearing at the foot of my bed every day at 4 p.m. is not enough to make me believe everything that magical vision says. I would listen to it. I would talk to it. I'd find it very interesting. But
And see if you weren't mentally ill or something.
I would see a doctor.
Okay, well let's say you knew it wasn't all in your head. You had irrefutable proof. You were living in one.
Okay. Okay.
So like, I guess I don't know. How would you still live like the same,
Well,
or
one question I would
would
have.
you just do whatever you wanted? Right? Because what if everyone around you, all the people you know, they're all just like computer programs. No one's really real.
Well, that's.
Kind of like the Truman
That
Show,
is-
but
right.
everything's like digital, right? You're in this like
Well, that would be
made-up
tough.
world.
So that would mean like you're not real. You're
Yeah.
a computer program.
Yeah. What if I wasn't real?
Well, okay.
Like, would you live your life like Grand Theft Auto? Like, just take cars, like, just make mayhem, or you just kind of go about your life still and,
No, because honestly, that's already kind of the way I see people.
yeah?
Yeah, I already kind of see people as of questionable reality.
Well, some people live in their own reality, so that's not
Yeah,
too
no.
far of a stretch, I guess.
So I I look at. I mean, you don't know. I don't know how real you are, how alive you are in here,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, I actually don't know if my consciousness really is completely dependent on this brain that I think I have.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm even in a body, so I might be a software program in a computer. And I mean, if we're in a matrix, I most likely am a software program as well as you. Doesn't mean we're not alive. It just means we don't actually have these bodies. It just means we are in these giant computers. For some reason, someone built these computers. I'd really be wondering about that. Why? And I probably would spend more time doing like what we're doing now, like talking to the world,
Mm-hmm.
but I would be talking to the makers of the Matrix, and I'd be like, hey, makers of the Matrix, why are you doing this? Why did you make all this? Do you
what if
want to?
it's just like one big experiment though. Like they're just kind of letting you, like you're the only living.
Are you a representative of the
Punches.
Matrix? Is this? Are you? This my finally someone's telling me the truth that it's just a big experiment just to watch us do whatever.
Could be.
I mean, seriously, I wonder about this all the time.
Really?
I wonder about this all the time. Like that. I think that whether or not we're living in a matrix, we could be. It's bugging me that we have it still on the.
But I mean, would that change your perceptions of like what's ethical, what's moral?
No, not
If you
at
didn't
all.
perceive anything as real around you, like
Well, you're saying, I mean, you are still real. You know, you are still.
yeah, real in a sense.
If I thought you were a robot, if I thought you were a robot that actually didn't experience pain,
Mhm.
that there was actors controlling you remotely,
yeah,
that would affect me. But I don't. I think it's possible.
but it's like the Matrix though. You're just like a program. It'd be help and be nice, but like you're not technically real, right?
Well, it would depend if I felt like you were lying to me when you if I hit you and you experienced pain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes. I mean, I'd basically say that if I feel like someone is lying to me about things, I treat them differently. So, but if I feel like someone's being honest, like in a Matrix, like animals, it's like, would I be cruel to animals? Like, no, because I trust that they actually are experiencing pain, and I don't enjoy other things or other people suffering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fixated on taking care of everyone in the world.
Yeah.
Or something, but I don't. But anyways, that's all me. More importantly, what about you? What would it do? Do you think we're living in a matrix? 'Cause you seem to ask those questions pretty strongly,
It was just kind of coming.
It was just coming to
It was
you?
just coming to me. I don't know. I think it's interesting to like play out.
Do you think I'm a computer program? Do you think I'm a
Could be.
real? Yeah, it could be, but what do you believe?
Probably
Oh.
not.
You think I'm a real human being? Really?
Yeah. I think I'd be pretty safe in assuming you were real, but maybe I've just bought into it so much. I just don't question it.
Is there a test in the? Have you ever seen what the heck was it? That movie with Harrison Ford, Blade Runner.
No, I haven't watched Blade Runner yet.
So there's a test in Blade Runner they do to see if a person is a robot.
Okay.
But no. Anyway, they shine
You
this,
don't remember
this
what it is?
magic thing in your eye,
Oh.
and they watch your pupils and they ask you questions, and somehow you can tell.
Oh.
But maybe we could. What would be a test, or something like a question we could ask each other? Ask a question that would prove whether
Would it
or
be
not.
like one of those tests they do for like artificial intelligence, that kind of thing?
Could be. Ask a question that would be difficult for a simulated matrix entity to answer.
I don't know. I don't even know. Like something like a riddle or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. It's drawing a
How?
blank.
All right, I'll go first then.
Okay.
What's the most important thing in life?
And if their head explodes, then you know they're they're not real.
I don't know. I'm just stabbing in the dark. We're doing matrix test questions. Maybe we'll find the right one.
What was the question again?
What's the most important thing in life?
I think you asked me that once before, didn't you?
It's quite possible. I only have 3 questions I ask people. I just keep asking everyone the same questions over and over. I've been asking that question since college, and I actually stopped for 25 years asking it, but I used to ask
What's the
people.
most important thing?
Yeah.
Like what? Food, shelter, that whole baseline. I would say
I'm
all those
asking
needs
you.
are taken care
I'm
of.
asking you.
I'm a biologist, Matt. So I think from the most.
You're trying to get like the teacher, or like
I'm
you're,
getting
like,
too technical.
you're asking for hints on what the answer is, but the answer is whatever you say, unless you're like a software program that doesn't have its own answer.
I can't compute it. It's just,
There's nothing important in life because you're not alive.
you need emotion and.
Are you refusing to answer the question and we move on? Is that what you're doing?
No, okay, I'll answer. I think even last time you asked me, I said laughter is the most important thing.
That's an interesting answer.
Because a lot of good things come from that.
Do you have so what does that mean about you and stand-up comics? Like, do you feel like comedians have a special place in the universe, or do you think laughter is the most important thing in life? Are they?
There's good ones.
Yeah. What makes you laugh? Memes? Or anything besides memes?
Anything that's funny. I mean, obviously not in a very cruel, deprecating way to somebody else at someone's expense.
Yeah. That's not your type of humor.
Well, sometimes, but I try not to be a dick about it. Sorry. Okay.
She also said, yes.
We should make notes like 30 minutes in, Kim cussed again.
And you should be thinking of the question that I asked you a question to test you. You can, if you have a question back, to try to figure out if I'm like a software program in the Matrix. You're welcome to ask that anytime.
How about like a morality question?
Sure, whatever.
Because I just read one this morning about you have a train and it's going up to a fork, and you have 5 people tied up on the track on one side, and on the other side is 1 person. And it's going to hit the 5 people unless you make the choice to switch the track. It's only the 1 person. So you decide. So you take out 5 people at once, let that happen, or do you save them and make it 1 person? I think a program would be able to.
That's a great question. You don't need to analyze the question. You just ask it.
Yeah. Sorry.
And you don't apologize.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's actually a classic philosophical question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just delaying now from answering it.
I feel like it'd be pretty easy from a computer point of view.
For me, it totally depends who the people are.
It's just random strangers. How about
Random strangers.
yes?
I don't know.
You don't know any of them. They could be the worst people on the planet.
Okay,
Well,
the train is going to run over the group of people, 5 people,
Yes.
or I flip it and it run over the 1.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I mean, this is honestly the way it would work with me.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see them? Do I see the people? Because that means the 1 person I would see and the group I would see, and so I'd be immediately getting a lot of information about how old they were,
Yeah.
gender they were, do they look like jerks? It's like this would all impact me making the split decision.
But you only have say 10 seconds to take this information in as you see them.
But it's like dating. You only need a look at someone, and you have cast all these impressions and judgments. So we can take out that if you say I can't see them. If you eliminate me being able to see them.
That makes it easier, I think, if you can't see people.
All right, because I would totally.
You're like, oh, look at that guy. He's wearing skinny jeans. Ugh. I'd be doing humanity a favor here.
It's yeah. That is okay. In a split second, I probably would save the group, unless
That sounds like something a robot would say. Like on that Will Smith movie, I, Robot.
Well.
You save the greater, probability of lives there.
Well, wouldn't you do that?
For the greater good.
I mean, most likely, it's definitely.
But then,
I wouldn't enjoy it.
But that means that you're choosing to kill that other person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would probably switch it and then do something to try to save that person. And then I would make it part of my life's mission to explain to people, don't stand on the railroad tracks. It's that is a really dumb thing to do.
Well, these people are tied up. This is some sick Matrix simulation
So
experiment.
this is like Saw. This is like that movie
Yeah.
where they're setting up these horrible like Dr. Phil and Shaquille O'Neal are tied into
forgot
pipes
about
and and they have to like cut their feet off or something to get out of there.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you find these kind of like sick scenarios entertaining?
Well, no, I just I figured a morality test would be a good one to do.
All right. Okay. So we've each asked one question, and you think I'm a robot? That
Well, you did guess the answer that I figured a robot would probably guess, but
only a human would just kill the. But if, you know, it seems like robots would know. Just choose the brutal,
Or-
sociopathic answer, and that way you'll sound human.
that's true. Well, I'm just going by the rules from the Will Smith movie, so
Yeah.
it could be different
You know.
in the real Matrix scenario.
All right, I've got a question.
Okay.
This will test whether or not you are human or a machine. Can I borrow $10 right now?
What if I don't have
Can I-
$10?
Do you have any cash?
$2 maybe?
Can I borrow $2?
Sure. That's over there, so you
Oh.
can take it.
All right, I don't know that didn't work. Maybe $100 or something.
What do the computers say no?
I don't know. I just tried to give it some consequences. Okay. Do you have another one, or should we move on to our next topic that we planned out a long time ago?
Sure. So I introduce the topic, Matt.
I think you should introduce the topic.
Have you had any viewers at all so far? Nothing's
None
popped up,
there, and no one. No, we haven't had any. So this is just meant
Okay,
viewing,
cool.
So no one's watching.
Cool.
You know, if I'd had another device going, I could have like put it onto you now, and we might have had you've seen that. We might have had some drop-ins. So yeah. So Kim, why don't you go ahead and you intro this topic?
You were gonna intro it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you the first part. So Kim and I have been planning this podcast for weeks, and we brainstormed a lot of different topics. And this topic, Kim thought would be really interesting and fun, and thought-provoking. And so why don't you take it from there?
You're throwing me under the bus, Matt.
Just go with it. Just
I don't know. We're gonna do the movie genre.
Movies? Yeah,
do
we could do
that.
movies. All right,
Okay.
greatest. What do you want to do? Greatest. Let's start with the greatest movie of all time.
Oh,
We'll work our ways back
no,
from that.
that's
No.
too hard.
All right, just
There's
how
too
about
many
this?
good ones.
Can you name a single movie? we'll make it easier. Kim, name a movie.
See, I was introduced to TV until like 5 years ago.
What?
Just kidding. No. How about what is like a movie you love to watch, but you would be super embarrassed to tell anyone you actually like? I think your guilty pleasure movie.
Guilty pleasure movie. Grease.
What? That's like a classic. You'd be embarrassed if they watch Grease. I hate
Guy.
musicals, and I would really admit I love Grease.
I like Grease.
I own
mean,
the soundtrack.
I like musicals. You know, West Side Story.
Oh God, we might be friends.
Little Shop of Horrors.
That's not bad. Yeah, Steve Martin.
But I mean, I'm not really like embarrassed to say I like these. But
Okay, what's the one though that you would never admit? We can even edit that out so no one would know.
You know, I like dancing movies like Footloose and Dirty Dancing and Flashdance.
But then those are like
and-
horrible movies. Like, is there any kind of like National Lampoon movie or something that you would like never know you actually liked? If you're in a group of people and someone's like, "Oh, this may be worst ever," and you're like, "Yeah, totally," but then you go home and watch it and like crack up.
I like Superbad. You know, that's a good movie.
That's okay.
And like Tootsie. Ever see Tootsie?
That's with Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
And he dresses up like a woman.
Yeah.
I heard it's actually pretty good
It's
though.
amazing.
So-
It's a great movie. Well, but these are
It's not a guilty pleasure. It's widely accepted that it's good.
Dances with Wolves.
No.
It's a Wonderful Life.
I'm sorry, you're just a movie snob. I never watch anything that would be horrible and embarrassing to admit.
I'm just, you know, do you have one?
Music? Is there any music
That I'm embarrassed?
that you'd be
I guess
embarrassed to admit to? Like Britney Spears or something?
I like some Britney Spears.
Although her earliest stuff was good.
Yeah,
I would freely admit that.
yeah. Here,
Although
what are you
someone
doing
fi-
out of frame? Get back in frame.
Oh,
what
sorry.
are you doing? Jeez. They don't want, like, me on
I'm
camera.
slowly edging
You're, like,
my way
slowly,
out.
like, yeah.
These wheels
Like
on this chair.
Beautiful, beautiful wall over here for you to look at.
Here, we'll just try to stick it really. Oh, does not work. Dang it.
Alright. This is like, the video is so far behind us. I wonder how it's doing with its recording.
Sorry. Keep sliding out of frame. Okay.
Okay.
Do I have any embarrassing ones?
I'm trying to think of music too. Music that I find embarrassing that I like. The Big Chill has great music in that.
The Big Show. I
Mhm.
think I've seen that one. Is that a stoner movie? Is it that one where they're all out, like in a ski lodge or something?
Well, yeah, because somebody dies. They're like all friends in college,
Mhm.
and then a guy commits suicide. He's actually played by Kevin Costner.
Okay, it's not the same movie I'm
well,
thinking
Kevin
of.
Costner's not in the movie,
Oh.
but he's the body in the casket. You never see his face. It was his first movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting Kevin Costner trivia.
yeah, and so and they all hang out at this cabin for a weekend,
Okay.
and they rekindle some romances and stuff. And I do think they smoke pot at some point in that movie. I don't think that makes it a stoner movie, but
Okay. I think I'm thinking of a different one anyway.
it has the most amazing soundtrack, you know, with like the like, Joy to the World and all these like Heard through the Grapevine and this old classic, I don't know, 60s. I guess it's 60s music. Not really sure.
Is that when CCR was?
Yeah.
The 60s or
Yeah.
70s?
60s, I think.
This is.
Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah. I like me some Creedence.
Yeah.
Um.
Guilty pleasures. Come on. What is, or how about this? A movie or a song you're incredibly embarrassed to tell the world that you like,
Okay.
or an anecdote that's incredibly embarrassing to share with the world, or anything that's really embarrassing that you don't want to tell the world. You should tell the world right now.
Wow, when you put it that way, how could you not want to? Man, I had a lot of embarrassing life moments, but it's hard to pick one out.
I'll just pick one right now. We'll just go through all of them.
We only have so much time, Matt.
Yeah, I don't have. I don't have a timer going. All right, so that means we must have been going basically an
We
hour.
have like 5 minutes left.
And the recording's still going? I thought it only went. Okay. So
Okay, well the first one that pops to mind is I was in high school. Did you ever do those tests when you're in school where like you had to sit down and fill out like this questionnaire about like drugs and alcohol and stuff? You had to like rate how often you did it, how much, whatever, for like state statistics. I think it was for.
maybe. Sure.
Oh, well anyway, we had to do one of those, and it was like 4 pages long. And so they just spread us out in the gym to like work on these and fill these out. And I was sitting cross-legged doing mine the whole time. And I was finally done, and I was one of 2 people left sitting on the floor in this huge auditorium, and everyone else was up in the bleachers that was done. So they just kept us all. Like, I was in a high school of like 70 people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So we're all just all hanging out in the auditorium. So everyone's up in the bleachers who's done, and it's me and one other person sitting down on the floor, like, filling this out. And I got up to, turn mine in. And my legs had fallen asleep this whole time I was doing it, but I didn't realize it. And so I got up, and I took one step and just face planted on the floor. And it was just like one of those movies. Everyone's just, like, cracking up. I would have been more embarrassed if the feeling was coming back, and so it just felt like my legs were being stabbed with needles all over, and it really hurt. So that took a lot of the like focus away from the embarrassment. So I just laid there waiting for my legs to feel again, and the other person got up to hand theirs in, and I just was like, "Hey, you can sit me straight."
That's
Yeah,
good. That's nice.
yeah.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We don't have video of that or anything.
No.
You do have a video though that, you know, maybe next time you come on we could share. Video
I do.
you said of your public speaking of some like
Oh, I think it has been long lost.
no. But what was it?
I
It was
didn't save it.
it was a video of you doing
My-
some sort of presentation.
My public speaking presentation.
Back in what at what age?
Let's see. I think it was my sophomore year of college, so
Yeah.
like 20.
All right. Well,
19,
maybe
20.
maybe we can find that for a future episode.
Maybe. I don't know if I could look it up. I wonder if my teacher would still have it. I'm friends with her on Facebook. She probably keeps all these for her laugh.
Mm.
Someday when she's bored, she probably sits back with a glass of wine and just watches like the worst presentation she's ever seen.
I can see that. I can see
Or
that.
maybe not, because she's a good person. She's really nice.
All right. Well, shall we wrap up the episode?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for co-hosting another episode. It seems like everything worked
Yeah.
pretty well. We'll see how the recording comes out. Every time we do this, it makes it easier for us to do future ones. And to anyone that ends up watching this video clip, we are going to keep doing this, and eventually, as we get our technique down and we get our viewership built up, we are going to invite more and more people to join us and participate in the discussion. And you can go to the hive1.net website and into the Mindful Activist node to see what different topics we might have for future episodes. And you can even vote on topics there to decide which ones you want to have us talk about in future episodes. And I think that's about all. Should we do some closing music?
Yeah, we should. Alright, let's just pick a random one, I guess. Huh?
So we will. We're going to stop the video and share a closing song. All right, Kim, go ahead and start singing.
No, I won't be salting my ears with that.
Let's see, this is what we had at the beginning.
It's like a late night show where we're all like bang in the back.
They're still going. Nobody ever joined. Maybe you should do like a closing dance.
No way.
How about the wave?
The wave?
Yeah, just like this.
Give me this.
There we go. I like it.
There we go.
Thank you.
Good as it gets.
All right. Signing off. And to everyone out there on YouTube, the no one watching, we will say goodbye.